Scientists at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, are basically scrambling to revise their research in order to comply with new federal rules that insist scientists avoid using terms like gender, transgender, pregnant person, pregnant people, LGBT, transsexual, non-binary, non-binary without the little dash in the middle. It goes on and on. Assigned male at birth, assigned female at birth, biologically male, biologically female. Now those terms came from an email that was sent to CDC scientists that was published by a Substack called Inside Medicine. Scientists have also been told to retract or pause all of their pending publications to ensure that research containing those forbidden terms are not published. And it's unknown how many publications have been affected by this new rule, but given that many use the term gender interchangeably with the term sex, which honestly they're two different things, they shouldn't do that anyway. But since they do, a lot of these studies are gonna have to be revised. So this all has to do with a recent executive order that was implemented by the Trump administration. That order directs agencies throughout the government to stop offering gender identity as a choice on government forms and to end funding of gender ideology. Last Wednesday, the Office of Personnel Management, which by the way, Elon Musk has now gained some access to, distributed a memo that called for an end to all agency programs that use taxpayer money to promote or reflect gender ideology. The OPM memo said agencies need to take down all outward-facing media, websites, social media accounts, etc., that inculcate or promote gender ideology. Agencies must terminate grants, programs, and outward-facing media. They must also withdraw any final or pending documents, directives, orders, regulations, materials, forms, communications, statements, and plans that inculcate or promote gender ideology, according to the memo. So federal agencies are attempting to comply with these new rules, but they're given pretty vague instruction, and it seems like there's a lot of collateral damage as a result. So I want to give you a few examples. The agency's HIV content was entirely offline briefly on Friday, though parts of it have since been restored. Some data, such as the Youth Risk Behavior Surveillance System and the CDC's Social Vulnerability Index, were unavailable on Friday afternoon. You guys gotta rename let's go back to the youth risk thing. The Youth Risk Vulnerability, what was it? The Youth Risk Behavior Surveillance System is a scary sounding name. They gotta name it something different.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, but I don't know what that group does, so I'm not trying to shade them. I'm just saying the name is not good. Okay, so what do you think about this, Cenk?
Dumb, wrong, unscientific. Just here we go again. What are you doing? So.
My bad, I do have information about let me clarify, sorry.
Okay,
hold that thought. So it turns out that the Youth Risk Behavior Surveillance System basically provides extensive information about the scope of mental health problems affecting US youth, okay? So especially when it comes to depression, suicidal ideation, alcoholism, and drug use. My bad. So it's an important group, but yeah, rename, go ahead.
Okay, so we're gonna take out all information about gender. How about demographic information? It's in every scientific study. So we're gonna take out every scientific study's demos. In fact, you're not allowed to publish them if you have demographic information. So first of all, on that alone already, and then you get into the LGBTQ issues. Well, what if it's a report about AIDS? We're not allowed to say LGBTQ? I mean, how dumb is this?
That's super dumb.
Okay, and then secondly, I thought you guys were against cancel culture. Now we're canceling words, and we're canceling scientific papers because it has naughty words in them. We don't like those words. Okay, you can keep going in that direction, but you know what that is? That's culture wars, and that's identity politics, and that's garbage. And shutting down science because you don't like the words in it is the epitome of cancel culture and super dumb. So if you objected to a particular report, then you object to that report and go, hey, this one's wrong. We covered one last week about the DEI at the FAA. It wasn't DEI, it was a diversity program. And yeah, that won't sucked, right? And so if you point that out, you win on that stuff. But when you cancel all science because it has demographic information and words in it, you look ridiculous.
So a page from the Health and Human Services Office for Civil Rights outlining the rights of LGBTQ plus people in healthcare settings was also gone as of Friday. So these are specific examples. And yeah, you're right. This is the right-wing brand of culture wars, and it's the pendulum that just keeps swinging back and forth, back and forth. And the people who get caught up in the middle of that are the people who suffer. And those are ordinary Americans who need this research, who need to access it. And so taking it off of official government websites in order to, comply with Donald Trump's brand of culture wars is unacceptable. So that's what we're dealing with here. And then finally, I'll just say that even if the CDC does retrofit all of its research to essentially go along with the Trump administration's executive order or guidelines, it would still be unable to publish new material. And that's because Trump froze the agency's external communications last week, along with other health agencies in order to review their public messaging. So that's another element to the story that you should be aware of.
So freezing websites that actually give people health information, and that's going to make America great again? And that is somehow a populist position? Yeah, I'm stretching to see how in the world you could possibly think that. And I get it, go play your identity politics. Oh, we'll rile people up with trans issues and LGBTQ issues. Meanwhile, maybe they won't notice that we have access to the entire Treasury Department and handed it over to our largest donor. Thanks for watching the Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.